Hello, I'm Rob Corbin, and although we don't know each other, I'm going to ask you a very personal question, which is deserving of a few minutes of reflection and self-honesty. If you were given the task of writing down a list of people who you know in your life who need to be forgiven for something that was said or done to you which caused you pain, anger, or bitterness, would there be at least one person on that list? How about yourself? When you look back over the past year or two, are there people in your own life who you care about and love, and to this day you have regret or guilt over something you said or did to them? Forgiving ourselves and others can be one of the hardest things that a person will ever do in their life. And not doing so will rob you of emotional freedom and peace of mind that everyone is entitled to, including yourself. There are so many people I see who live in an emotional cage, sometimes for years or decades, and they're not 1 inch closer to forgiving themselves and others than they were 5, 10, or even 15 years ago. So here's the question. Why would someone choose to trade in part of their happiness and contentment in their lives in exchange for sadness, anger, bitterness, resentment, anguish, and a whole lot more, which prevent us from being emotionally free? Because it's so much easier to allow the event to equal the outcome. It's so much easier to blame others for our feelings when the truth is no one is responsible for our feelings except us. We must take full and complete ownership of our feelings before we can break free of the emotional roadblocks which prevent us from experiencing true happiness and contentment in our lives. Regardless of what was said or done, some people watching may think to themselves, what happened to me is unforgivable. I just can't forgive. If that's you, you have chosen a life sentence of bitterness, and you have chosen to be a victim rather than leaving that emotional cage and never looking back, which is a choice. What you need is a roadmap which you can follow to a place in your life, finally, that you can leave the bitterness and anger far behind you, and that you will never go back to visit. If I said something to you that was harmful or hurtful to you, it would be natural for you to be upset with me. But to choose to live day in and day out, every day of every week of every month, for sometimes years, holding on to that anger, you end up becoming your own worst enemy. So how do you get past it? How do you get out of neutral and move forward with a clean emotional slate? It begins by taking ownership of your emotional truth and not letting the event determine the outcome, because it doesn't determine the outcome. It's how we choose to respond to the event that determines the outcome. You don't have to forget to forgive. And the hard truth is that the other person doesn't have to accept your forgiveness. But here's the math. It takes 2 to hurt, but just 1 to forgive. And that's you. As far as forgiving yourself, living with regret and shame and guilt is not a life sentence. No one, including yourself, was meant to suffer forever because of the past. The truth is, we've all messed up in the past. But it's not the past that defines us. It's what we do about it going forward. So why am I doing this video? What's my truth about me doing this and sharing with you this information? Here's why. I lived in an emotional cage myself for 46 years. It took me 46 years to forgive my own father. I know what it's like to not let go. I know what it's like to live with feelings that do nothing but weigh you down like a 50-pound weight day in and day out. And I want to tell you, it's no way to live. Because we have the God-given ability to repair ourselves emotionally anytime we want. All we need is the direction to take that step forward. I'm retired now from the business world, and I devote my time to providing 3 to 4 hour workshops for those who want to know what it feels like and it looks like to forgive yourself and to forgive others. And at the end of this workshop, you will have an opportunity to hold yourself and the others in this class accountable for the decision to finally let go and move on and wipe the emotional slate clean. To let yourself out of the emotional cage once and for all. And I'll tell you, this can be a defining moment in your life. I go into prisons, churches, colleges, and synagogues with this program on a regular basis. This is my life. It is my passion. So if what I've said to you so far resonates with you, if you feel a little tingle right here, I want to tell you how much this program costs to attend. Zero. Nada. Not 1 penny. There is no cost to attend this program. I do this because of the fact that it changes people's lives. I see it every week. I receive letters from people. I hear what changes have taken place in people's lives. And that, to me, is worth more than any amount of money I ever made as a business owner. So here's the deal. If you're a member of a church, a fraternal organization, a religious organization, a college, or any other corporation or organization that you feel would be interested in having my program called The 7 Paths to Lasting Forgiveness, I invite you to contact me at the information on your screen. There are so many people today that need direction to break out of their own emotional cage. I am ready, willing, and able to help, to provide answers to the question, how can I truly forgive myself and others? God bless, and thank you for watching.